All right, everybody, welcome back again to the KSR YouTube channel.
Does that mean what I'm thinking?
What are we doing here?
Yeah, putting wheels and tires
Is that for this?
Yep.
Oh, maybe I'll have to use the clip of where you cranked it up the other night.
Oh, you had to put that in?
No, I hadn't put that in a video yet.
Oh.
Didn't seem like it had a good spot to fit.
Well, now it does.
So now it does.
Dyno video.
So we've got some other stuff to show you guys that's in the rest of the shop, but this is kind of a big deal.
Definitely a big deal.
Maybe
big deal to me.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming for this thing to move under its own power for an extended period of time.
Yep.
Instead of it going and doing some donuts and then hurting the crankshaft because of our miscalculation on our misuse of parts in the throwout bearing. Go back and find that video from way back if you want to figure out what I'm talking about. But anyway, let's get through the intro and show you some other stuff we got going on. And yeah, let's get to it.
Right, so we're about to fire this thing up. I don't really know what I'm doing here, but Kevin's not here right now, so he's off doing children stuff, dad stuff. So the not dads like me get to stay here and play with race cars. So got this motor back in. We're gonna try firing it up. First fire. Go ahead, Grant. Oh, almost. Freaking purrs like a kitten. Oil pressure still good? Sweet. This is by far the coolest thing I've ever made. Like, I peaked when I made this. Sweet. What? Yeah. What? Sure.
All right, so in the last video, you guys... All right, so in the last video, a lot of you guys guessed that I was going down to Cletus's to buy the chassis table from him. And yeah, I do want a chassis table, not gonna lie. We'll have to see if we can fit one eventually, but that may be next shop.
That's what you should have bought.
We don't have room for a chassis table, so shush.
You don't have room for the thing that you're about to show.
We made room.
Don't make room for a chassis table.
Yeah. So if you watched to the end of the last video, you saw that we went down and actually bought that. And we ended up rearranging the whole wall here because that's just how that goes. We have that old cold saw that we're trying to get rid of. It's a really nice jet cold saw that we just never used because we bought the Evolution one over there. And then we have this giant Miller welder we need to get rid of. So if anybody needs a 375 amp welder, we'll sell you that and the saw cheap. At least cheap for what it would take to buy them new. But anyways, another project I've got going on here that's kind of a rush job for one of our burnout buddies, old Carl with Hidden Motorsports. We're adding a second set of injectors to his intake manifold. And you can kind of see what I've got going on. Clamping this thing down, drilling some injector holes, Got to weld some bungs in and then fabricate mounts for the upper rail so that he can eventually run a dual fuel system like what we do with Soccer Mom and what we're doing in Val's car. And yeah, you can see we moved Val's car over to this lift. Got the F-150 back in for a gear change. Eddie's making noise. Ah.
We work in a fabrication shop.
Wow, that's a big tire.
Yeah, it is. This is the biggest production tire.
Is it? Is it really?
Yeah, it's a 355.
350
At least that's what Grant told me.
355
Kumo
30 ZR19. Shoo, that's a big old tire. All right, well, he's gonna work to get that to the dyno. I'm gonna work to finish the injector, the second injector set installation. And then we're gonna dyno this thing. Just some break-in pulls, because we're breaking in the line-to-line coating on the piston skirts. And then Grant will be here sometime in the next couple of days, and he's gonna do like the power tuning and all that stuff, which is totally fine by me. But guess let's get back to work. Do a time lapse here, and you guys can watch what we're doing. All right, so I thought maybe some of you guys or girls might find it interesting to see what all we do to add a second set of injectors to an intake manifold. And like I mentioned, or I'm gonna mention later in the video, this point right here, there's already been an hour plus or minus invested in as far as mocking up different height injectors in the lower intake, and then kind of getting a rough estimate of where we need to poke the hole in the runner to fit the upper set of injectors. Now, some injectors like the APHIS ones that we run in Soccer Mom, they're a pretty large body injector. They move a lot of fuel, and so maybe it takes a real powerful like electromagnet inside of them, I guess, to open and close the injector itself. But anyways, it's a pretty fat injector, so we wanted to make room for something like that, because he does plan on running a large alcohol injector later down the road, because he's planning on this being like a dual fuel car, just like what we've done with Soccer Mom and we're doing on Val's car, and what we originally did on Mullet, what my car is going to have, all that stuff, because that's just the awesome way to drag race. You have methanol in the race side, pump gas in the street side, drive that thing all over the place on pump gas, and then once you make some boost, she's into the methanol, which is, I mean, my opinion is that's about the best boosted fuel. As far as the safest, yeah, it's not cheap to run a methanol fuel system, because you got to have a massive fuel pump, massive set of injectors, and there's more maintenance involved with a methanol fuel system. You know, you can't just let it dry out, because the methanol itself will corrode. It kind of creates this like film stuff when you let it dry out. You have to make sure that all of your fuel lines are methanol compatible, because it will slowly deteriorate rubber. So all of our fuel lines and everything we try and build, we try and put Teflon the inner hose on the fuel lines. But anyway, that's kind of beside all the point. And you can kind of see I've got some little pieces here that I machine that are kind of like injector simulators. So when I'm tacking these in place, I can stick one of the my little injector simulators in the hole, and then make sure that I keep the bungs all parallel with each other. I've thought about doing a fixture, but truth be told, like, every intake is different, so I kind of just put the tool in there, put a tack weld on it, and then tweak until I get the angle in both axes correct, and then once I make sure that the heights are all the same, go ahead and weld them all in. And that's just how I do it. Well, my GoPro ended up going dead, so I'm not sure how much I got filmed, but that's a good start to all of that. And actually, I think the majority of the time of doing something like this is actually in all the setup. So there's measuring to get, you know, the spacing, the center line spacing, because he sent us fuel rails to use, because you can maybe see how that one's offset that way a little bit, and then this one's offset that way a little bit. So I kind of have to pick the best average of where they line up, where if I was doing rails too, I might do this one on center there about the same place, but then do this one maybe back over here just a little bit to keep it centered in the runner. But the nice thing about using the pre-production rails is you can swap them around. You don't have to worry about keeping them the same left to right and up and down and all that stuff. So I still have to fabricate a mount that's going to, you know, bolt the rail to the intake manifold so it can't come flying off. But after that, this thing will be done and on its way back to him, so he can go run the ice cream cruise this weekend. And it actually took me a little longer to do than I thought it was going to, because I hadn't done one of these before with this combination of injectors. But we made it work. And I've been actually a little sick since the weekend, probably because I just put too many hours in between staying late to get a video done, getting up super early to go down to my youngest gymnastics competition, going down really early in the morning to get this thing. But we're getting stuff done around here because we really got to get that done ASAP. And maybe Eddie was doing something in the background while I was working on the intake. I see he's bolting the Racetech seat in, which, kind of funny thing, this is a brand new Racetech seat because we stole the seat out of this car to put in his Viper. So we had to buy, first we wanted to make sure that it would fit, so we kind of stole the one out of the Corvette, put the driver's side in the Viper, and then we ordered 2 more in to then be able to, you know, put the seat back in this car and then in the passenger seat of the Viper. But just a second here, I think we're gonna bolt the pedal footrest on, like the footrest on top of the pedals there, and then move that stuff, drive this thing out, and drive it onto the dyno. Let me go see if I can find Eddie. That's you, bud.
Yeah, I rocked this donut.
So another project we had in for a little bit of steering modification. He had a steering joint that was going bad. We had to put a steering box on it probably a year ago, and then one of his joints started to wear out, so we put a better joint on it, and he's ready to come pick that one up if Eddie doesn't steal it from him.
Oh, I'd take that thing in a heartbeat. Never talk to any of you guys again.
All right, let's go see how many times you stalled Grant's car getting it over here.
Don't say that.
Why? No pressure.
Now I'm definitely gonna stall it.
No pressure.
Nah, trust me.
Got half our lights up. Ooh. Hey, gotta get a hand with. Maybe we just pull these out of the way. Oh gosh.
Lift it up more than that so it goes on the wheels, you know?
What?
No, you're supposed to lift it up more so it goes on the wheels.
Oh,
instead
the
of
dang
scratching.
light-em-ups.
The dang light 'em up?
Look good.
Hey, what happened to your hand?
What hand? This hand, nothing.
And what? Nothing?
Look, I can still do a TIG torch, see? So we're good.
No
No problems. I still want aluminum.
Literally the
Stop
only...
getting into bar fights.
That's not what happened. It was actually an alligator / crocodile, very angry. Very bad attack.
He was saving a baby from an alligator, and yeah.
Broke his hand in the process. Okay, let's see how many times Eddie stalls the car. I'm gonna get the door. It's exciting. A little dyno action. Little break in. I hope he can back himself out.
Ain't got no mirrors on this John.
Yep. Ooh, that sounds pretty good. Yeah. Or if you got it. All right, now back. Yep. Keep going. Straight. Straight. Good from there. You want to go this way and then drive down and then back in? Okay. All right, start it. Straight, right where you got. All right, hard.
This is so sick!
Don't stall it. Boy, he's got it idling kind of high, doesn't he? That's actually a lot of steering angle for that much time. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Come back there. Yeah, it's idling way high. Okay, now straight, back up. What's that like, 1800? Hey, what are you doing? Straight. Just a little bit, okay. Straight. Pretty good right there. A little bit. Nah, go. Yeah. A little bit. Yeah. Come on, go. I don't know. It didn't do that last night. You shut it off because we got to... I wouldn't think it'd be from the... Heard it backfire on the back too. I wouldn't think it'd be from... Oh, you know what? He only had it going with it warm, and I wonder if after we reset the timing, it's not, because he fixed the timing. The timing was like 6 degrees off or something.
And now it's got a couple more timing.
All right, well, I'm gonna go finish the intake. Eddie's gonna get this strapped down, and then we're gonna make some break-in pulls. Yeah!
Watt pulls, hopefully tonight. I
Yeah.
think he's coming back tonight.
Yeah, well, that probably won't be in this video, because I gotta go.
Oh.
And I plan to edit this tonight, although maybe we'll see if it fits. But put the R wideband on the back of it too, because I think he'll probably want to compare that.
Yeah.
And if I see it really weird when I'm breaking it in, or when you're breaking it in, we'll stop. So, all right, back up. Get some work done over here. All right, well, this will be the last time lapse for this video. And to start off with here, we are making the hold downs to hold the rails down to the intake. And I am using 1/4 inch thick flat bar that I cut about 3/4 of an inch wide. You can see I had a big plate here that I'm cutting slivers out of to use for the actual, you know, hold down piece, and kind of just made sure that where the hold down was at, I had to make sure that it was not going to get in the way of the injector. So it's kind of angled just a little bit, which makes my OCD freak out a little bit, but you know, form over function sometimes, or no, function over form. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. So just back and forth a little bit, kind of around the shop, polishing up things on the belt sander a little bit, and then once I make sure that I can achieve the angle that I want to achieve, I'm gonna suit up here, fire up the HTP welder, and put some tacks on them to hold them in place. I try and make sure that the rails are parallel with the, you know, not only are they parallel with the deck surface front to back, they're also parallel to the center line of the engine. So, you know, you wouldn't want the rails kind of crooked. That would just be weird to have them where they're, you know, not parallel with that edge of the intake there, which the edge of that intake is parallel with the center line of the engine. So, you know, just lots of little stuff to make sure that everything's gonna work and line out. And then on top of that, you got to make the other side match as best as you can, which, you know, sometimes that's easier said than done, because you might have a different boss to work around on the intake manifold, like the base intake manifold, kind of like we did here, like flipping it from one side to the other. I ran into, like, it was going to be really, really close on one of the bolts, so I end up sourcing kind of some really small bolts and nuts that are just the perfect length, which you'll see later in the video. But now I'm on to my least favorite part of doing one of these injector installs, and that is porting out the extra material inside of the runner. Now, to begin with, I try and do it dry with my carbide. That ends up being kind of the wrong way to go about it, which I knew better, but, you know, kind of made a little bit of a mistake there, because it ends up clogging up the tip. And what I was trying to avoid was a big oily mess all over the workbench here. But that's what we're going to end up creating. Spray a little bit of transmission fluid is actually what I use to lubricate my carbides when I am cutting on aluminum. And the negative of using that is it makes a big oily mess all over the bench, because now the shavings have, you know, they're being lubricated by the transmission fluid, so now they stick all over everything, and it's a harder cleanup because, you know, everything's wet now instead of it being dry. So that's just part of doing one of these things, and, you know, spend some time making sure that all that's nice and smooth so that the airflow is happy going into the cylinders. I've been up front wrapping up the intake. Grant's been back here doing some break-in pulls. It sounds good. Was that actually a pull? Dang, 325?
326.
That's what I thought. I'm like, that's more than what you wanted. Got a little smoke off your the wrap back here. Sweet.
That's that KSR built motor, baby. Got it. You're welcome. Can't you just restrict it with the throttle blade? Yeah. Like I thought that's worse than whatever. Oh. I'm scared.
Why are you scared? Look at that trick belt setup.
I'm not standing like.
Did you glue the wheels? didn't have to with this thing. Got a tire out of balance or something. A little stick to it. Yeah, it's got a tire out of balance for sure.
I don't think they're balanced.
Hit the green button.
Yeah, I doubt they're balanced. Okay, just get in it.
Or that too. 328.
That's 326.8.
Boy, the power's just flat up top too.
Well, that's what we
Yeah.
wanted.
That's wild. That's that road racing
Yeah.
curve right there.
We do RPM,
Nice.
That's what we wanted. It's top power.
55 to 65. That's freaking nice. You said that's a stock C5Z06 cam?
LS. I thought it was LS2 cam.
No, it's LS2 intake, which is supposed to be crappy.
Well, I mean, I don't think we need a better intake.
No.
Yeah. They what? You see how much it's running really bad in the mid range, so hopefully we can bump that torque back.
Yeah, you can see it kind of dipping in the middle a little bit. Like that's probably where it's rich. Hey, blow it. Make sure the fan's blowing back underneath it, because I'm sure it's curing this wrap. Because she's smoking. Oh yeah, definitely curing the wrap a little bit.
I mean, it's definitely getting all the way back here.
Yeah, I see it. It's blowing up from under it. I think we're all right. Well, that's cool. Made more power than what we needed. So we have to figure out something to do around that. What are you
Look at what I made.
flapping about?
Look at what I made.
Been using the arc droid,
I'm
eh?
using the arc droid. So I had some old leftover. This is actually my bed cover off of my Ranger. So I pulled that off, and I need shims for under my lift pads.
You got a
Right.
lift? I'm
I
going
do.
to your house.
You got 17 lifts in here, dude. Look around.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
Can't look at something. In
These
here.
are all full though, so I'm gonna come use
We're
yours.
Literally standing in one that isn't full.
Oh yeah. But the Viper's gonna be here tomorrow, so.
And that one will be empty. So you can use
No, but no, then the Chevy 2's coming back tomorrow too.
Well, say no to people. Well, like, look at that. I connected them all, drew it
That's-
up in CAD.
that's pretty
So it's
snazzy.
all one, and then we use our new bandsaw to cut them all out.
Yeah, that thing has already come in handy.
Yeah.
Which I used it quite a bit. You saw in the time lapse for making the hold downs for the upper fuel rails there. Got us a nice little perfect length bolt and nut setup because it's really close right there. But short of drilling another hole down here for the injectors, that's where we're at. But it does work out too. I've already test fitted that this is LS1 height injector here. This can also go on the bottom, the same height, so it can actually have two sets of LS1 height injectors in it, which is pretty cool. I wasn't quite sure that was going to work out when I first started putting it all together, but it worked. So
Look how well this thing cuts.
that's a service week offer for you guys if you do want something like that done. It's about 9-10 hours worth of work between, you know, the measuring, the machining, the welding, and then porting the holes back out once it's all said and done. Got his extra injector simulators in there. I actually used my billet atomizer, our old billet atomizer 325s that I still need to sell. Somebody buy those. Give you a good deal on them. We've had them ever since we put the APHIS injectors into Soccer Mom. Good injector, just don't need them anymore. And those are like over $2,000 new. Sell them to somebody for $1,000. Send me a message on Facebook on the business page or call us and we'll send them to you. I'm trying to close out my video and you're making noise. Dang it.
I'll shut up now. You went in the other room.
I was talking in there
I
too.
thought you were done yapping.
I was trying to sell our old injectors.
Oh,
We need
how
to
about
get
you
rid of
sell
them.
all 50 other things we need to sell?
We have been on a mission to sell stuff
Yeah.
lately.
KSR
Which
yard
I think
sale.
I mentioned the welder,
Welder.
the chop saw.
300ZX.
I'm not selling a 300ZX. No. I'm gonna do something with that one day.
One day, when you're 85.
Hey, I've got another one that the people still need to see. The road
I
race
still
car.
need to see that.
Yeah, he hasn't seen that either. We'll go. We need to have us a road race day. So we're gonna have a drag race day soon.
When is soon?
I don't know. I'm waiting for the injectors to come back after because we sent the APHIS injectors out to have that one checked because it was idling a little funny.
Ranger. You gonna bring your Mustang?
Oh, we gonna have a Ranger showdown?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh, you're so done.
Should we do it? You think we can do it like during the weekend of the Danger Indy race, or like near that?
No, I'm gonna do Gainesville.
No, I know, but like we'll do it that weekend or whatever, or like that week.
I don't know. I was gonna try to.
Come and I can whoop Drew in the drag race.
Oh, maybe. Might have to try and work that out. But I'm gonna do a track rental and take like all the guys out there and run all the cars. We'll run Soccer Mom, let everybody drive the burnout car, see just how fast the burnout car is. Which I should probably find some tires for that. Yeah, need to do that. But anyways, that's gonna wrap up this video. It's been crazy hectic week so far already this week. Got to get that one going by the weekend, get it out of here, get the gear swap done in that, and his ceramic coated headers finally came in, so we're gonna swap those on. Plan is to do the gear, re-dyno it, put the headers on after we dyno it, and in the middle of all of that, Eddie and I will be thrashing on Val's car to get it finished. So,
What are you not doing?
working on Val's car.
I want to do road race stuff.
Well, that was done. So we got to do this.
Okay.
Because more people are interested in that than the silly road race
true.
stuff. People
It's
like
true.
their drag racing.
Yeah, it's true.
Anyway.
Drag racing is cool though. I can't talk crap about drag racing. I like drag racing.
Sure. But anyways, that'll wrap it up for this video. Appreciate all you following along. Appreciate all you guys watching, following along, all that good stuff. We'll see you next time.